So how do we turn this into this? Or this? Have you ever sat down and spent hours learning vocabulary like licks or voicings, and then realized you really have no idea how to get them to actually show up and appear when you are playing or improvising? Because if you have, you are far from alone. So many of my students have that same issue, and I myself spent years running into that same exact problem as well. Now, there's a really good chance that what's actually happening is you are learning vocabulary in an incredibly inefficient way. How do I know that? Because I was doing that for years as well. And that's why I actually spent the last couple of years or so working on a very clear step-by-step system that is going to help you understand exactly not only how to absorb vocabulary, but how to then actually get the most possible use out of it as well. I want you to know how to take a lick or a voicing, etc., and practice it in a way where it is going to almost immediately show up when you're playing. So if you go to a gig and you're playing with some of your musician friends, or even you're playing a solo piano gig, literally it could be the next day and you're already going to have skills that you built up from learning a lick or a voicing that show up right then and there as you are playing. So let's dive right into it as soon as first you click subscribe if you're new to the channel, and number two, if you already know my content and get a lot out of it, if you could hit that like button, it really helps me out. All right, let's get right into this. So today I want to talk to you about what I am calling the Infinite Improv System. I know the name is just a little bit tacky, but I wanted it to have a very clear name that represents what I think this system is built for. So let's take a look at a lick here. All right, so let's just go with that as our lick. Now, step one, I'm not going to go into it, very simple. I just want you to learn it, right? I just want you to be able to play this lick. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Just learn to play it. I'll play it a little slower for you. 1. So the lick starts on the and of 1. 1, right? So you can pause the video, you can look at how the lick is played, and that is going to be really, really helpful just to get to this point in the video. I'm also starting with the thumb, doing 1, 2, 3, 5, like that. Now I'm not going to go super deep into everything with the lick here, but if you're watching this video and understanding it so far, you definitely have the skills to just pause the video, figure out the lick, go back and see what my hands are doing, slow it down if you need some help with the fingering. Now let's get into the next part, which is the more important part. How do we break this down and actually turn it into something more useful? So again, most of us oftentimes tend to stop there, right? We learn the lick and we're like, all right, cool. Now it's going to magically show up in my playing, if not right away, maybe a few months down the road. I'm personally not cool with that. As an educator and teacher, I want to have a more direct method of integration. So now that we've actually learned it, gotten it in our fingers, we understand how it works. What's more important, what I really want to do here now is instead of just leaving it at that, instead of just memorizing the lick, memorizing the essay, I want to break it down, I want to analyze it, figure out exactly how and why it works, and then look at the methods we can use to create our own infinitely. So rhythmically, it starts on the and of 1 and goes into triplets. So 1 and 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So all we're doing here, you might have already noticed this, we're just outlining an E flat minor 9 chord. So over the E flat minor 7 chord in its most basic form, we're just literally arpeggiating E flat minor 9. We go down to the root, and we're just going down the E flat Dorian scale. And that leads us right into the A flat dominant. And what we're doing here is a little bebop chromaticism. So what we're doing here is a very typical pattern. We can think of that as an enclosure. We're moving around this G. And most importantly, we're hitting the root, flat 7, root again. Then we're going to think of this as a flat 9 chord. with a sharp 9 as well. So it's essentially like the A flat half diminished scale, or the A flat altered scale. So far we have E flat minor 9 arpeggiated, going down the E flat Dorian scale to A flat 7. And we're thinking of it as with that flat 9 and sharp 9, so altered. And then for this final chord, which is really a D flat dominant chord, we're literally just doing the D flat blues scale. So it's really, really simple when you think about it. So now how can we actually take this and make it our own? Number one, let's follow the exact same format. We're going to arpeggiate E flat minor. So we can go all the way up to the 13. So we can maybe start here. And then we're going to go down the E flat Dorian scale. And then we're going to switch to that A flat altered scale. And then when we get to D flat, we're going to go to the D flat blues scale. So let's try this again. So you'll notice I did something a little bit different. Instead of arpeggiating upward that time, I actually went down. Okay. Let's try another variation, and this time we'll get even a little bit more rhythmically different. I didn't like what I did there, I didn't love it, but that's inevitably going to happen. I'm going to just keep working with this. 1, 2. So I haven't asked him myself, but the story goes that Brad Mehldau would take a melody and sometimes spend hours just playing that melody and basing all of his improvisation around embellishing the melody, changing it up, and creating his own melodies for that song, essentially. So just really in-depth melodic development. In a sense, we are actually doing that and applying it to a lick here. We're understanding the inner workings of the lick, and then we are essentially integrating it directly into our playing by, instead of obsessing over the exactness of that lick itself, taking some of the defining characteristics of it and using those to create our own vocabulary and material. And that's why it gives us essentially an infinite amount of improvisational material just from this one lick. So instead of feeling the need to constantly learn more and more and more licks, many of which you might not even be learning well enough to actually fully integrate them, we just learn one and we get so much more out of that process by going more deep and actually having the proper methodology to make sure we're truly internalizing it. In other words, this one lick is, in a sense, giving us an infinite amount of options for improvisation over this 2-5-1 here. And that is partly why I call this entire overarching system, which includes not only licks, but ear training and voicings and so much more. That's why I'm calling it the Infinite Improv System. If you want to actually learn the entire methodology and see how this can very quickly transform your playing in some incredibly positive ways, and also give you the knowledge and systematic methodology that you need to constantly improve your playing at a much faster rate, make sure that you click the link in the description and join the waitlist for my Jazz Piano Evolutions course. It's coming out very, very soon. And just by joining the waitlist and leaving a thoughtful comment below, you actually will be automatically entered into a contest to possibly be randomly selected to win free entry into the course. And even better, you are guaranteed $50 off the course no matter what. So It's a win-win. Make sure you sign up for that waitlist. The course is coming out very, very soon. And quick note that YouTube is not affiliated with this giveaway. If you want to learn everything that you should know about how it works, the guidelines are in the description of this video as well. All right, I hope you got a lot out of this video. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button. I really appreciate it, and it helps me and the channel out quite a bit. And also, if you are new here and learned something, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.